The night felt wrong. Not hustkiet, but breathing. Every shadow in the room seemed to shift slightly when Ethan wasn't looking. He had moved into the old government quarters. Only a week ago, it was supposed to be temporary housing. A forgotten building full of dust, broken fans, and files that smelled like they'd been crying for decades. The caretaker, an old man with clouded eyes, had handed him the key and said quietly, "Stay anywhere you like, except room 17. But room 17 was the only one that had work and lights. Ethan laughed at the warning.
"I'm not scared of old ghost stories. He should have been."
That first night, he barely noticed anything strange. A few creaks, some flickering lights. But on the second night, there was a sound, a faint tapping. Tick, tick, tick. He ignored it, told himself it was just the pipes. But the tapping came again. Rhythmic, like someone knocking from the other side of the wall. He turned off the light and listened carefully. There again. Tick, 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 tick. And then, between the taps, a whisper so soft he thought it came from inside his own head. Ethan. He sat up, heart pounding. "Who's there?" No answer, only silence, the kind that hurts your ears. The next morning, he confronted the caretaker. "Room 17. Who was here before me?" The old man looked at him for a long time, then said slowly, "There was another man. Then one night, he vanished." The caretaker's voice cracked. He disappeared into the wall. Ethan laughed nervously, but something cold ran down his spine. That night, he decided to prove to himself that it was all nonsense. He placed his phone on record, set it near the wall, and turned off the lights. Minutes passed, then hours. Silence. He started to drift into sleep when his eyes snapped open. The sound had come from inside the wall. "Ethan, open the door." He stood up, trembling. "There's no door," he whispered. But the wall answered. This time, it wasn't a whisper. It was a breath. The paint rippled like water. Ethan stepped closer, terrified yet drawn to it, like a moth to flame. He pressed his hand against the wall. Cold, then warm. Then it beat. A heartbeat. Inside the wall. He stumbled back, gasping. His phone was still recording, the red light blinking steadily. By morning, he looked pale, sleepless. He told himself he'd leave that night, but something made him stay. Curiosity, or whatever had started whispering to him. The tapping didn't stop during the day anymore. Sometimes it came from the floor, sometimes from behind his bed, and once from inside his head. At 3:12 a.m., his phone buzzed with a notification, a new audio file. He hadn't recorded anything. He pressed play. It was his own voice, whispering, "Ethan, open the door." He dropped the phone. "How? That's not me." He turned to face the wall and saw a dark outline forming there. A door. A door that wasn't supposed to exist. The handle began to twist from the inside. The old wood groaned. A line of light, dim and pulsing, appeared where the wall should have been solid. Ethan backed away. "Stop! Stop!" But the voice came again, clearer, louder, right behind his ear. "You already opened it." The light burst from the wall like blood from a wound. Hands pale cold reached out and grabbed him. He screamed, clawed at the floor, but they pulled him in through the wall, and the light vanished. The next morning, room 17 was empty again. The caretaker found Ethan's phone lying on the floor. He played the last recording. Static. Then a faint heartbeat. Then, "Thank you for opening the door." The caretaker dropped the phone and staggered back. When he looked up, there was something new on the wall. a faint handprint pressed from the inside. And if you listen carefully at night, you can still hear it. Tick, tick, tick. And sometimes it whispers a new name, maybe yours, and